Good morning, children. Let's continue this play on the face of it, written by Susan Hill. We are introduced to two characters. One is of Mr. Lamb, an elderly person, and there is a teenager, 14 years old boy, Derry. Derry is very pessimistic. And he is here in the garden which belonged to Mr. Lamb. Now, Mr. Lamb strike conversation with this boy, Derry. The moment he sees Mr. Lamb, he wants to run away from it there. And he tells him that since it was an empty place, he had come to the garden. But Mr. Lamb says, the gates of my house are always open for everybody. And I'm very happy to receive you, to welcome you. And he's all alone. So he's very happy to talk to him. And he's trying to make him very comfortable. But this boy is obsessed with his burnt face. And he is suffering from that agony. So here it brings out the people who have handicap or physical impairment, they suffer from a sense of loneliness and mental agony. And it also talks about how appearances are quite deceptive. So there is some sort of suffering inside them. And they feel to keep themselves isolated from the society. They are afraid of the comments which people make. Now, here in the case of this child, it's his ugly face, it's burnt face, and that is the reason why he wanted to keep himself aloof from all others. So, let's continue this play on the face of it, written by Susan Hill. Now, here Dere is narrating his story. He is telling it's due to acid. He has burnt face. It's not due to fire. So, Lamb keeps on listening to him, but Dere thought that he was not interested in his story, and that's the reason he asked, aren't you interested? Then Mr. Lamb says, yes, he's very much interested. You are a boy who came into the garden. Plenty do. You are a boy who has come into my garden, and many children, they come to my garden. I'm interested in anybody. I'm interested in every child. I'm interested in everybody. Anything. I'm interested in everything. There's nothing God made that doesn't interest me. I'm interested in all the creations of God. Everything that is made by God, that's very interesting for me. Look over there, or beside the far wall. You look over there. Next to that wall, which is far away, what can you see? What do you see there? Rubbish. Rubbish, all dirty things we can see there. So, Dairy replies that all those rubbish things are there. Rubbish. So, what were there? Weeds were there. Look, boy, look. What do you see? Just grass and stuff. Weeds. Now, Mr. Lamb very nicely explains. Now, here you see, some call them weeds. And what are weeds? Weeds are unwanted grass, unwanted plants. Those are the weeds. And what do you do with those weeds? We keep only those plants, probably the flowering plants that we want to retain in our garden. But in the case of weeds, what do? We throw them away. If you like, then a weed garden that doesn't matter. You can call it as a wheat garden. There's a fruit and there are flowers and trees and herbs. Whatever God has created, I am interested in all that. Let it be weed, let it be flowering plant, let it be fruit tree. Why is one growing plant called a weed and another flower? Why is it called flower? Where is the difference? It's all life. Now here he goes on talking. What is there? They are different, that's all. But but all of them have got life. Now it's all life growing. So it's all similar in reality. If you really see, they're all same as you and me. There's no much difference. Just like you and me, they're all similar. Where is the difference? Now dairy doesn't agree to that. We are not the same. How can we be similar? We are not the same. Then Mr. Lamb says, I am old. You are young. You have got a burnt face. I got a thin leg. Not important. I got a thin leg. That is not very important. You have got a burnt face. That is not important. You are standing there. I am sitting here. Where is the difference? You are standing there. I am sitting here. I am leading life. You are also leading life. Where is the difference? Now here, he is trying to convince him that you need not worry about all that burnt face. Why have you got a thin leg? Now David is interested in his life story. He tells him, see, we are similar. You have got a burnt face, I have got a thin leg. I am lame. Real one got blown off years back. In the explosion, what has happened? It got blown off. Years back, so many years ago, in an explosion, the leg was the one, it was blown off. Lamey lamb, some kids say. Some kids tease him. They call him lamey lamb. It fits, doesn't matter. I'm lame, that's why they call me lame. It fits, it's very appropriate, it's right. Doesn't trouble me. I don't mind it. It doesn't trouble me. But you can put on trousers, but you can wear trousers, cover it up. For you, no problem, because you can wear pants and you can cover up your thin leg. No one sees, they don't have to notice, they don't have to see that. Nobody will notice that. And nobody will stare at that. But I have got a burnt face. People go on staring at me. My ugly face. Then Mr. Lamb says, some do, some don't. Some fellows are there who stare, who notice all that. But there are so many others who don't bother about all that. They get tired of it in the end. At first they see, then they make comment. Afterwards they won't bother because they go on seeing again and again. They get tired of all that. There's plenty of other things to stare at, and there are so many things in the world to look at. Why only your face? So Mr. Lamb says there are so many things in the world to look at. And immediately again is obsessed with his face and he says, like my face. For example, my face. Why only your face? Mr. Lamb wants to tell. Like crab apples, there are crab apples. People look at that. So he's suggesting so many things that are there for people to look at. There are weeds or spider climbing up a silken ladder. The ladder that is created by that silken one, or my tall sunflowers. So there are plenty of things to look at. Things. They are all non-living things. Now here immediately Dairy says that those are all non-living things which people look at. For example, apples, weeds or spider or flowers, it's all relative. Says it's all related to each other. Beauty and the Beast. You think over how beauty is related to the beast. So there is a beautiful story of the beauty and the beast. There was a beastly thing, and when he was touched upon, that beast turned into a beautiful person. So similar way that beauty and the beast. So here it may be hidden. A beautiful thing may be hidden there. What's that supposed to mean? You tell me. You not think they haven't all told me like that as if that is there in the fairy story. Okay, fine. It's not what you look like. It's what you are inside. So here, Dale is telling him, it's not what you look like, it's what you are inside. What you are inside, that is what is very important. Inner beauty is our real beauty. It's not the appearances. So handsome is as handsome does. So that person who has got inner beauty or handsome is as whatever your deeds are, they speak volumes about it. So whatever beautiful deeds you do, whatever good things you do, that is what is very important. Not how your face, whatever facial beauty is. Now there is narrating that fairy tale where a beautiful girl loved a beast and monstrous beast. And when she loved that monstrous beast, and when she kissed him, then what happened? Then that beast changed into a handsome, very beautiful prince. Only he wouldn't. He would have stayed a monstrous beast. He probably, if she would not have kissed, then what would happen? That beast would have remained as beast. But that kind of thing will not happen in my case. I won't change. I will not change. I'll remain as I am. My ugly face will remain as it is. Very frustrating. In that way, no, you won't. It will not happen in your case. And then there he says, no one will kiss me ever. I have got such an ugly face that nobody will kiss me. Only my mother who will do that. But whenever she kisses, she will kiss on the other side of my face, not on the that side of face which is a burnt one. And I don't like my mother to kiss me. She does it because she has to. Because she is my mother, that's why she will do it. Why should I like that? I don't care if nobody ever kisses me. I don't care even if nobody kisses me. But do you care if you never kiss them? But do you care if you never kiss them? What? Girls, if you never kiss pretty girls, beautiful girls, long hair, large eyes, people you love, you won't like those whom you love them, you won't like to kiss them. Who would let me? Who will allow me? Not one. Nobody will love me because I have got ugly face. Who can tell? Who can tell? There may be somebody who may kiss him. I won't ever look different. I will never look different. When I'm as old as you, I will look the same. I will never change. My burnt face will remain like that only. I'm still only have half a face. So you will. But the world won't. The world will not. The world has got a whole face. The world is there to be looked at. And you have to look at the world. Look at the world. Do you think this is the world? This old garden? You think that this garden is the world? When I'm here, not the only one, but the world. When I'm here, the whole world is there in the garden as much as anywhere. Then Derry gets interested in Miss Lamb. He forgets about himself. Does your leg hurt you? Does it hurt you? Do you get pain too? Tin doesn't hurt. Now here it is made of tin, so there is no problem. It doesn't hurt. When it came off, did it? When it was blown off, did it? Certainly, surely, yes, I suffered. At that particular time, yes, I suffered, but it doesn't pain anymore. Where the artificial lung was stuck into the real one, probably it was at that particular time. But now, no, it doesn't pain. So there are so many beautiful things in this world. And that's all true. You don't make but, he says, Derry, that my face will not change. It will remain as it was there in the past. It will never change. And in the world, the things will keep on changing. Do you know? So now Derry narrates the incident. He says that he came across a woman in the street and she was passing by and he was standing there at the bus stop. He was waiting for the bus and there was another woman who was accompanying her. She was with another woman and she looked at me, she looked at him and then she whispered and only I have heard that. And what did she whisper? What did she tell to another woman? She told, look at that. That's a terrible thing. Look at that ugly face, the terrible face. That's a face only a mother could love. That's a face which mother can only love, nobody else will love. No girl will kiss. And here Lamb was telling that true. One day you'll find that somebody will kiss you. So you believe everything you hear then. So you keep on listening to people's comments. Then it was cruel, wasn't it? That woman making such comment. Maybe not meant as such. Probably she didn't mean that. Just something said between them. Probably she must have just said something to a friend. Not about you, about somebody else. Only I heard it. I have heard it. I know that. And is that the only thing you have ever heard anyone say in your life? Is it that only that thing? And you are only thinking about that? There may be people who must have spoken good about so many things. Oh no, I have heard a lot of things. I heard a lot of things. And I have heard all these kind of things only. So Derry, very pessimistic, not ready to change his viewpoint. Now here, Mr. Lamb says, now you keep your ears shut. Don't bother about the comments of others. So many people have said so many things, don't bother about all that. And Derry finds it quite surprising and says, you are peculiar. You are a very strange kind of person. You are telling peculiar things. You say peculiar things. You talk about strange things. You ask questions. I don't understand. You keep on asking the questions. And I am not able to understand your questions. And Mr. Lamb says, I like to talk. I like to have company. It doesn't matter what people say. What is very important is our viewpoint. You don't have to answer questions. There are so many questions people keep on asking. You don't have to bother to answer those questions. You don't have to stop here at all. You don't have to stop. The gate is open. You're always welcome. You don't have to bother about people. Rather than listening to all those people, you come, you talk to me. And gate is always open. I will always welcome you. Yes, but, and here he feels that he is talking very strange things because he has always heard only bad things about himself. But now here was somebody who is asking him to change his viewpoint. I have a hive of bees behind those trees over there. So there are beautiful things. There are bees here. Some hear bees and they say bees, birds. But it can be musical for some. So buzzing of bees. But when you listen to bees for a long while, so sometimes it's a nuisance for some. So that's why buzzing. But they hum, They sing, hum means sing. So for some, it's a very melodious, it's singing. I hear them singing my beats. But for me, it's singing. For others, it may be a nuisance, it's a buzzing. So similar way. Whatever people tell, you don't have to bother about all that. You come over here, I will always welcome you. The gates are always open. So here at this point, we'll stop here. We'll continue the session. I'm quite sure you must be finding it very, very exciting. Thank you. Goodbye.